Hi, it's Laura. If you follow along regularly, welcome back. And if you're new here, then hello. I run a business that's called Space Within. We're a coaching organisation and we work with leaders, predominantly leaders in big corporate organisations, to support them to do what it takes to help them feel more human at work. It's a mix of work that we do. It's typically one-to-one coaching, team coaching, and some, although I hate the label, mindfulness-oriented practice. These little videos are something that I started creating about 9 months ago now as a way of bringing the stuff that I know and the stuff that I know supports my clients to the masses. So I'm very conscious that not everyone gets the opportunity to work in one-to-one sessions with me or people like me. Not everybody gets to do that in a team or in a group. But really this stuff that I'm sharing with you here is stuff that we can all benefit from. So I'm really passionate about being able to share that with you so that you can live and lead in a more spacious way yourself. Over the last week, I have posted a series of videos about the power of the breath and the importance of having a strong connection to your breath as a practice. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. So this is video 4 of 4 in that series. I'm really obsessed with the fact that we've got access to so much stuff that we just don't know how to use as people, and that we've somehow kind of become these people that want to go out and attain and get all of this stuff, and it's all out there, and that can be really useful, and there is power and benefit in that, absolutely. But there's also all of this stuff that we already have that we just don't use, and I'm really passionate about supporting people in realising that they've got access to all this stuff already and that it doesn't need to be as complicated as we make it. So one of the things that we always have access to, which is why I'm so passionate about it, is the breath. It's with us every day, every moment, every second. We can dip into it as we wish. We can use it and deploy it in different ways. And poetically, the breath is like our life force, right? It's the thing that gives us vigor, that gives us energy, that gives us connection. And yet we don't use it. So that's why I want to talk about it today, again. So a video 1 of 4 was the first in this series. That was about connecting with your like a basic breath practice, which is called diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing. So you might hear it called one or the other depending on where you come across it. And it's not really a technique, it's actually the way that we're born knowing how to breathe. Breathing properly, breathing through our belly, breathing deep into our core. And yet by the time we reach adulthood, most of us have forgotten how to do it. And what I did in that video was remind you about the importance of that and remind you how to do it. And you can use that as then the basis of kind of everything that you do with respect to your breath. So that's the most important thing to sort of focus on if you want to focus on developing a breath practice. So you might want to go back and watch it. And then in video 2, I talked about box breathing. This is a type of breath technique that you can layer on top of a strong diaphragmatic breath practice, which will support you in really high stress situations. So you can go back and watch that. That was video 2. Video 3 was about, it's called 1 to 2 breathing. So this is about making your exhale twice as long as your inhale. This is the type of breathing that also helps to calm down your nervous system, lower adrenaline in your body, that kind of thing. But it also is really detoxing for the body. So it helps us clear out the crap that we don't need. And this video that I want to share with you today is about heart-centered breathing. This is one of my favourite all-time breath techniques. It's one of my favourite all-time wellness practices. It's certainly a technique that I use very, very regularly in my day-to-day life and has had a hugely positive impact on how I feel about me, people around me, and the world in general. It's also helped me increase my own capacity for things like compassion and gratitude. So what is it? So it's a type of breath where you basically focus on where the breath is in the body and you essentially breathe through the heart. So I'm going to tell you about that in a minute and show you how to do it. But I just want to say something really quickly about the physical benefits of this. So this is a breath technique that really supports your body in being less stressed, essentially, your system in being less stressed. So these are all techniques that really help us feel more well at a more holistic level. So by that I mean physically, emotionally, mentally as well. So how does it do that? Well, on a number of levels, but two things I want to point out to you today about this technique. One is that it lowers, when we breathe in this way over sustained periods of time and we have a regular practice, it helps us to lower the levels of cortisol in our body. Cortisol is the fight or flight hormone. It is the hormone that tells our body when we're in danger. So when we have high levels of cortisol in our bloodstream, our body thinks, okay, I've got to be ready for action. I'm primed, I'm ready to go, I might have to fight, I might have to run. And that, of course, is a really useful state to be in, and we all need to know how to access it. But it's not a state that we're meant to live in permanently. When we live in it permanently, we feel tired, we overload our nervous systems, we can end up with chronic fatigue, we feel more stressed, more frightened, more in danger than we need to feel. So anything that supports us in helping cortisol be in its normal levels, which ranges from high to low, but not high all the time, is always going to be good for us because it gives us more range of access to our emotions, to our different states like rest and stillness, that kind of thing, and calm. So it supports that. It also supports us in regulating the flow of our heart rate, the flow of our heartbeat, the way our heart moves. So it helps the heart essentially move in a rhythm that's like this. So more in flow, more coherent is one of the medical terms that's often used to describe this. So the heart is more tuned in, it's more comfortable, it's more regulated. That's the easiest way to describe it. Less erratic, less random. What happens when the heart is in coherence is that the heart always talks to the brain. So the heart is telling the brain stuff and the brain is then telling the heart and the rest of the body stuff. So when we can regulate our heartbeat and make our heart feel more coherent and beat more coherently, it tells the brain that we're okay, and the brain then tells the body that we're okay, and guess what? We're more okay. So over time, this has a marked impact on our levels of physical wellness and our levels of stress, essentially. It essentially helps stress levels to decrease. And there are lots of medical studies that prove this stuff. I have a degree in biomedical science. My undergraduate degree was biomedical science. So if anybody is interested in more of the biomechanics, then we can absolutely talk to that. But for the rest of today, I just want to briefly share with you this technique and let you give it a go for yourself. So I suggest that you find somewhere comfortable to sit. So if you're on the train or on the tube or on a plane, or you're sat in your car not driving, or you're sat on your sofa, then that's all good. If not, then you might want to just pause the video briefly and go and do that. So now that you're sitting somewhere comfortably, you can just simply start to breathe normally. So don't force your breath here, just let your breath come, let it be a wave that arrives and leaves. And as you breathe comfortably in this way, your breath will probably want to slow and deepen. Just let it. Don't force it, just allow it. I suggest at this point you could close your eyes if you feel comfortable with doing that. So you close your eyes and you simply draw your attention to the area of your heart. So you're focusing your attention on your heart. If it helps, you can put your hand onto your heart. That may help you connect with it a little bit more. And all you do as you're breathing is on your in-breath, you imagine your breath entering your heart. And on your out-breath, you imagine your out-breath leaving your heart. So your inhalation comes into the heart and your exhalation leaves the heart. And you simply breathe like this for as long as you wish. If you can try 5 minutes in the morning, wonderful. 5 minutes at night, great. The more often you can do this, the better you will feel. But it's also a practice that you can use tactically in the moment when you want to feel more access to compassion, to gratitude, when you want to feel calmer, when you want to feel more alive. So regular practice will be wonderful, but it's also something that you can use more sporadically if you wish as well. So you're simply breathing in with your attention on your heart and breathing out with your attention on your heart. Heart-centered breathing. I will leave it with you to practice, enjoy it, and I will be back soon with another message. Take care, bye!